In the summer of 1947, something happened in Washington state that changed the way, literally, we see the space age. Today in the Mossback's Den, we're going to talk about flying saucers. On June 24th, 1947, a pilot from Boise, Idaho named Kenneth Arnold was flying near Mount Rainier when he saw something extraordinary. He saw what he thought were 11 or so shiny discs speeding through the mountains at 1,000 miles an hour. He was dazzled. When he landed at Pendleton, Oregon, he talked to reporters about it, and he described the discs as moving like a saucer skipping across the water, and the term flying saucer was born. We've been seeing mysterious objects in the sky ever since. The report of Arnold's sighting was a sensation. In today's terms, we'd say that it went viral. Thousands of sightings of saucer-like objects began to be seen across the country. People had different explanations for what that was. An Oregon congressman thought they were Russian rockets. Other people thought they might be spacecraft. Skeptics said, no, it was the sun, the moon, a planet, a lenticular cloud, some kind of atmospheric phenomenon. Some people said people who cited UFOs had just had too much to drink. The UPI did a story, and the byline on the story said it was from their sea monster and flying saucer correspondent. Kenneth Arnold heard from a number of people who were frightened by the sightings. A preacher from La Grande, Oregon said it was the second coming of Christ. A preacher from Texas said that he was preparing his flock for the end of the world. And a woman fell crying into his arms, saying she was afraid that men from Mars were going to get her children. The military authorities began looking into the phenomenon. They took it seriously, and they eventually came up with a term beyond flying saucer called unidentified flying objects. And in the state of Washington, the state set up a UFO reporting system where they created forms so people could call the local civil defense agency and tell them what they'd seen in the sky. The form asked a highly scientific measurement question. What was the size of the object sighted when compared to the size of a pea held at arm's length against the sky? A Mrs. Miller of Seattle reports 3 white objects traveling at 2,000 miles an hour in formation at 11 p.m. in 1962. A caller from Aberdeen complains of an unknown white object and is advised, quote, to forget about it until it lands. Another report from the same people carries the notation that the complainants are screwy as loons. Another complaint, foil-like threads rained down on a house in Aberdeen. Samples were attached to the report. Here's the civil defense report with examples of the foil. Shortly after the 1947 flying saucer sighting, a man from Tacoma was in a boat off Maury Island near Vashon Island, and he said that a flying saucer dropped debris which damaged his boat and killed his dog. The government investigated. Kenneth Arnold helped. They determined it was a hoax, but the man said that he had been approached by someone in a black suit and told not to discuss the incident, and thus was born the meme we know today as the Men in Black. The Pacific Northwest has contributed a lot to the jet age, the space age. We even have entrepreneurs today like Jeff Bezos of Amazon who are planning to put a colony on the moon and perhaps go to Mars. Perhaps the earliest contribution was igniting the world's interest in the saucers that were skipping through the skies.